Hello and welcome to the Wheel to Wheel podcast. I'm Ali.
I'm Akeem.
And this is our F1 weekly catch-up.
Let's get the show on the road. So, feels like it's been a while, isn't it?
It's no race week last weekend. Can't say I missed it.
Oh, that's bad, man.
Nah, it's because it's only a 1 week one. Like, it's not like it's a 2 week or the summer break is going to be one where we're going to really miss it.
I'm going to really struggle, I'm not going to lie.
But hey, we're coming back to a good, fun race.
Montreal.
It's the Canadian Grand Prix. Looking forward to it?
Always. You know what? The thing with Canada, especially last year, I think there's so much to happen on track. But I don't want to say it's because of the rain or whatever. But, you know, if you got a little bit of rain this time round, you know.
You know what? I should have checked the weather forecast before jumping on the podcast. That would have been useful to know. But if it's anything like last year's race, it's going to be a good race.
That was hard.
With the Haas strategy as well, that was really good. But they kind of messed up on that pit stop for Magnussen.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, that was a brilliant strategy. He took over. He went past Oscar Piastri for P4 in a Haas. So it was like...
And then he had an 8 second pit stop.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it still worked out for them just because they were starting like almost last. But yeah, it could have been so much better. They could have finished at least 8th.
You know,
But
good in the points. Trust me.
So there's been a lot of chatter this week for Red Bull.
Yeah,
they've requested for Arvid Lindblad to get his FIA super license, and he's just been approved it. What do you think?
I could see that coming from a mile away, to be fair, because especially with like everything that's going on right now, they need another driver because in case Max, you know, whatever, they need someone to cover up. So I think this is going to be very interesting to see what this new prospect can actually do. I'm very excited to see that. I think he is the youngest F2 race winner. Which, he's coming in with like a lot of hype, like Kimi Antonelli almost. Is it just me or this youngest thing just keeps on getting moved around a lot of the times?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it even last that long. I think Max had it at one point, then Kimi had it.
No, but Max never had it for F2.
He never had it for F2.
Because he never raced in F2, did he?
Yeah, he went straight to F1, didn't he?
Yeah. At 17, he raced in F1. But his record is the youngest ever race winner.
Oh, okay.
I think Kimi Antonelli had the opportunity to break that record. I think the opportunity might have passed now.
Yeah, it's gone. He's 18 now, I think.
Yeah, but Max was 18 when he won his first race win. But I think it was still possible in the first few Grand Prix because by days and months, he still could have been the youngest. But yeah, Mercedes not up to par. But on Max, he is 1 penalty point away from a race ban. And you know what's really funny? Is that there is the 24-hour Le Mans race coming up, and people are saying, is he purposely going to get 1 penalty point so that he can race in Le Mans? Because
I know where he wants to be.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
It's not this season, is it?
It's not this season. With this car, you think Max is happy? Nah.
He probably would rather race in Le Mans.
Right now, especially.
But I don't think you purposely do it unless like the race is going really terribly. Then he might just be like, "Fuck it."
Yeah. All it takes is a bad, a hard, for one hards at the end.
But yeah, I mean, let's see where Red Bull stand in this one because they are bringing upgrades to this race. I think they're bringing in 2 upgrades.
And some to Yuki's car as well, isn't it?
Yes, Yuki definitely needs it.
Yeah, he
does. Because that second Red Bull seat is not looking good. Checo, Lawson, and now Yuki is now the new victim.
I was really looking forward to it. I really wanted to see Yuki in like the top 5.
Everyone did, yeah. Yuki's that driver everybody loves.
Hoping for that. Like, I want to see man on the podium, you know what I mean? Like, he definitely deserves it, but
you kind of have to question it with Arvid Lindblad's FIA super license as well. They are probably looking to next year. Red Bull have confirmed that there's not going to be any driver changes for this season, but I think they're definitely looking for next year. There's just talk about Max potentially leaving, and then the second Red Bull seat with Yuki Tsunoda, he's not performing. So they are probably looking at it, thinking like, what can we change around?
I think Lawson would definitely go, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think
unless he goes on a really good run, but
I think chances are I can see Lawson being exchanged over to Lindblad. And then
Oh,
they're
yeah,
going to
yeah.
have Hadjar and Lindblad like literally duking it out in the Racing Bulls team as well.
But we could possibly see Hadjar in a Red Bull seat
I
next
don't
year.
want to.
I don't want him to, just for his development.
Yeah.
But Red Bull, and it's always a possibility. And I think if you're a young driver, you want to be in the top team. So I'd understand if Isaac Hadjar was like, if he was given the opportunity, then you take it. You would take it. I would take it. There's nothing.
It's just so, it sucks that it's Red Bull, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if it was another team, I think like a Mercedes would kind of groom him quite well, to be fair.
Groom him?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they, you know what I mean? Groom him to be a real champion, innit? But
Yeah.
if he doesn't perform, he's gone, bro. He's out.
Yeah,
He's
Red
kicked
Bull
to the
are-
curb, fam.
They're
They're ruthless.
very ruthless.
When man was crying, they said like Marco, your boy Marco,
Oh, yeah,
was not
Dr.
happy.
Marco.
He was not happy about that. He said it's embarrassing or something like that, innit?
Yeah, but he's old school, innit?
Oh, come on, man. Man didn't care, bro. Man's big debut and he spun out during like a formation lap. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta feel bad for him, man.
Pablo Montoya came out with some comments about Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari, and he said that for next year's car, they should design the car around Lewis Hamilton's needs, not Leclerc's. What do you think?
I heard that one actually, funny enough. I think it makes sense. It makes sense in the sense of like, if you're going to design a car, then what better way than a 7 times world champion?
Yeah.
He knows what it must feel like. He knows what he wants out of it. Like, Charles is doing a good job, don't get me wrong. However, Charles hasn't experienced a W11, for example. So he doesn't know what it's like on the other side. Like, even when I hear Lewis talk about the brakes, the Brembo brakes, it's like apparently they are not that good compared to the carbon industry or whatever they're using now, innit, for Mercedes. And even the brakes, who knows? If they listen to what Lewis is saying, Charles might actually see just have a way better experience.
I agree, but also for argument's sake, people might say Lewis is getting old. Why are you going to design a car?
But
based
why
off
would you?
Lewis's
But why would you
needs?
spend hundreds of millions
And
to
his
bring
form isn't that
someone?
great.
But not only that, but why would you spend so much money to bring this experienced guy to this team and not take anything off him? If you bring Schumacher over to your team and you're telling me you don't want to learn anything about Schumacher and why he, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna want to understand why Schumacher works the way he works and
They did it at Mercedes. They did bring Schumacher out of retirement.
You know what I'm saying?
And literally when Lewis replaced him, the car was, I think it was 1 year away from being the championship contending car that it was.
Look at Vettel. When Vettel left Aston Martin,
Yeah.
when he left, the car became good.
True.
8 times podium after that?
With Alonso, yeah.
Yeah.
Not Stroll. Alonso. I know how much you love Lance Stroll. This guy, secret Lance Stroll supporter.
No, I know it grills you.
I think it grows everybody.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I agree. Because, like, I think I'm looking at it from a fan's perspective of, like, you know, it's Lewis Hamilton's last hurrah. Like,
Yeah, it is.
It's his last chance to win a championship. And why don't you, as you said, like, I think it's a good point that you're spending all this money. I think he gets like 60 odd million a year. If you're spending all that money on Lewis Hamilton, then why don't you just utilize it and just go all out for him? I think they tried to this year with this new concept of the car rather than continuing to build on last year's car. I think they tried, but yeah, but it's new regulations next year. It could be different. It's a fresh start. We all know these regulations just don't suit Lewis Hamilton's needs.
But also, I think like they kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit, because when do you say we're going to stop working on this car and work on next year? Because if they just put all of their eggs into this one car and keep it going, they're going to lose a lot of time for next year. And that's going to put them on the back end.
I think a lot of teams will probably stop working. I could probably see, you know, Red Bull bringing upgrades this weekend. I could probably see that being the last upgrades they're going to bring. And if it works, it works. Go with it. If it doesn't, sorry, we'll look to next year because
McLaren.
it's gone.
I think McLaren's done.
Yeah,
They checked out.
I don't think McLaren even did anything. I don't think they did anything since last year, to be fair. But hey, the F1 calendar came out.
Yeah, I didn't see a
For next
difference.
Yeah, we were looking at it, and I was just thinking, okay, they've taken Imola out, guys. It's happened. Imola Grand Prix is now off
R.I.P.
the F1 calendar, which is kind of sad because I thought Imola the past couple of years have delivered good racing. But yeah, it's gone. It's such a classical circuit. They don't care.
I know.
I was looking, I was like, it's still 24 races. What's been replaced? And there it was in all its glory. Madrid circuit.
Yeah.
I don't want to bash on it because, like, you know, it might deliver. I'm not going to speak too soon, but I just hate their sort of reasoning. It's all money because they said it's hard to keep 2 Italian circuits on the calendar, but hey, let's add 2 Spanish circuits on the calendar. It's like, where's the sense in that? But yeah, I guess it's just money at the end of the day, isn't it?
Facts. Yeah, who's got the most smaller, man? Hopefully some new countries start to bid and put their...
Thailand's on. Yeah. Alex Albon's apparently working on that with Thailand.
I do want to see Morocco, what Morocco's answer is going to be.
Yeah.
As well, Kailami. I would like to see Kailami as well.
Saudi Arabia is got another circuit coming.
Yeah.
But even though Saudi Arabia and the Middle East does have more than, 3 tracks, at least they make circuits. If you're going to make a track, make a circuit. Please, we do not want normal street racing, because street racing, like Monaco, I like Singapore, but Singapore is pretty much an Asian Monaco. Let's be real, it's not much overtaking opportunity.
But it isn't too bad though. Like, it's, it's
not the worst. It's not the worst. I don't mind keeping Singapore for, the foreseeable, as long as it keeps delivering. And the cars will be smaller next year, so it might be better.
What's your favorite street track?
My favorite street track? Mine's drawing a blank.
Can't be a hybrid. I'm gonna disallow hybrids. So no Miamis. You can't really.
Miami was.
Just in case you wanted to.
You know how much I despise Miami. So I guess this is. What about Jeddah?
I swear it's both in it. It's kind of like a hybrid, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. No, I'm not gonna give you that one.
Then it might have to be Singapore then.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
It looks nice. I like the nighttime feel to it, and it isn't boring like Monaco, so definitely that. Oh. Also, my mind's drawing a blank to like what other street circuits are there, but yeah.
I think my favorite is Vegas.
No, Azerbaijan. Baku's my favorite street circuit. Sorry, I forgot about Baku. Yes, Baku.
Oh yeah,
you can't copy
Baku as well. No, I was gonna say Vegas anyway.
Yeah, you know what?
It's always been alright.
It's entertainment wise, it does give us entertainment, but it is quite it's
simple.
It's very simple, very boring circuit.
It's very simple. It does the job.
But that's why I like Baku. Baku has everything. It's got complexity and it's got good overtaking opportunities.
Facts. Yeah.
So Baku for me is the best one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But this is the Canadian Grand Prix weekend, and we have to talk about our predictions. Let's start with qualifying.
All right, Piastri.
You're going for Piastri for P1?
Yeah.
Why?
Piastri has been very consistent, man. This guy has not bottled it. He's always delivered. His close compare is Lando. It's always quite close between them, but I'm going to give it to Piastri. Interesting. This weekend, yeah.
I'm actually going to go with Lando for quality for P1.
Why Lando?
I think just based off last year, he was quick last year, and I'm just kind of going for as a measurement for what he did last year. I think he'll do well. I think he'll qualify better than Piastri.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna go with that one. And P2, I'm guessing, what are you gonna go with?
I'm gonna go Lando. Lando, yeah. Lando's, like Piastri. I always say it's gonna be like in between the two of them.
It's a McLaren season.
It's a McLaren, yeah, to be honest.
The predictions are going to be boring because McLaren is just so dominant.
I mean, to be fair, I think at this point, just ask for a P3.
Yeah, P1, P2. Yeah, either Norris or Piastri.
Yeah.
I'm going for Piastri for P2. Yeah, I have to. You know, it's just the McLaren season. No explanation is needed. Piastri. It's either Piastri or Norris, and that's just the order I've gone with. So Norris and Piastri, and you're gone with Piastri and Norris. And for the last podium, or the last third quali position,
Russell.
Oh.
Yeah. I think Russell, actually. Looking at last year's clip, I was like, you know what? He started off quite strong.
Yeah.
I believe he's still got some left in him. And yeah, I can see him doing quite well in his quali.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I've bet on this guy to win the last two Grand Prix, but I'm going to go with him at third. Max Verstappen for third place. I think the car, so far in the season, we've seen that he is always most likely going to get a podium.
In the mix.
Unless, obviously, they give him on hards. But, yeah, he's got a podium place car and he drives his heart out. And I think he'll get a third. For the qualies as well, because although in qualifying, like, Max is sometimes faster than McLaren's, but I just think I have a feeling he might be a little bit checked out. And
I mean, if it's the front row lockout, then he needs a really good launch off the line.
Yeah, and it seems like McLaren just seems to have the best launch this year. I think because the tire temperature is just perfect, isn't it? But yeah, my qualification going with Norris, Piastri and Max.
And then I'm Piastri, Norris and Russell.
Oh, it's cool. But it's different, you know, it's different.
You know what I'm saying?
No Ferrari.
Oh, yeah, well, we did ask me about the race.
Okay. Then let's go over to our actual podium places in the race.
Okay.
Starting with first. Lewis, yeah?
I might go with Piastri. You know, he's been launching quite well, so I'm going to stick with Piastri for P1. He might run with it.
P2? Oh, let me...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Norris.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Norris.
Okay.
I think there is that pattern of, like, when Norris is ahead or when Piastri is ahead, whoever's ahead of each other in the McLarens, they end up staying ahead and they end up winning it. So I'm going to go with Norris on that one.
Okay. I get you. And I am going to stick it with Lando for P2 as well, during the race. I feel like he's always thereabouts anyway. He's going to be playing catch up. And yeah.
P2, I'm going with Max Verstappen.
Yeah. Oh, so climbs.
Yeah, got to back my boy a little bit. I go with Max Verstappen P2. I want to change it up for my quali. I could just be like, quali and my podium's going to be the same, but now I'm going to change it. Cool. And P3.
P3. Lewis P3.
Shit,
didn't expect that, innit?
Like
See
that,
how I switched around. See, I said George P3, but Lewis could be P4.
But you're going Lewis P3.
I'm going Lewis P3. But it's a tricky one, innit? Because it's very, very reliant on him getting a top 5. But I think he should be able to deliver a top 5. And if he gets a top 5, he should be able to climb the field and get a podium spot. So,
okay. Yeah, I'm not betting on that horse again. Last weekend, Lewis did not deliver for me. So I'm gonna go with Piastri P3.
Oh wow. Okay.
Same people but different order.
So they just mix up, yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, in the Spanish Grand Prix, if they didn't put him on hards, and Max would have been on the podium, and it just seems like all season long it's just a McLaren Red Bull show for the season, isn't it? So it's kind of hard not to go with that prediction.
Yeah, it's always been a McLaren or a Red Bull, to be fair.
Mostly McLaren, but it's just he's in the mix here and there.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that takes us to the next one, which is the biggest loser. Stroll.
Oh, I think he is already the biggest loser right now, to be fair. He might not even make it.
That's your boy.
No, but he might not be in the race.
Yeah, but that's your boy.
But he is gonna be the big loser. I don't deal the hands is dealt.
But like, where'd you stand on
You know what
that?
I'm saying?
Because like, I'm really annoyed with Aston Martin because they don't want to. Whenever Stroll's out, it's like, okay, put the car in the garage. No one's allowed to drive it but Lance Stroll. So give somebody else a chance. Apparently, Valtteri Bottas can drive.
I think Valtteri would be a really good pick as well. Valtteri, because Drogovic apparently he might be racing as well for Le Mans or something like that.
Okay.
So that's the only reason why I get why Drogovic might not actually be able to enter. But and even then, you know, I'd rather him do his own thing and just say fuck Aston Martin, because why does it always take this moment or this thing for me to call my name, innit?
Yeah.
So based on that, I'll tell him. If I was Drogovic, I'll tell him to stick it in it. But I think Bottas is a very good shout, especially being next to Stroll as well. Alonso. Being next to Alonso as well. It's right through my head. Being right next to Alonso, I'd like to see how the two actually measure up with each other. Like, that would actually be dope.
Yeah, but Bottas hasn't driven this season. He might have a bit of a little rust. But he's world-class driver, so I'm sure he'll be fine. So your biggest loser is?
It's got to be Stroll, to be fair. I don't think he's going to be in the race.
Oh, yeah, but if he's not going to be in the race, yeah, you can't say that, man. Pick something that's going to happen in the race, man.
All right, cool. I tried to get up on technicalities. I think the biggest loser would probably be... might be Sainz. I don't know.
Just based off his form at the moment.
Yeah, and Sainz been catching some weird L's as well. Like, he's...
Williams wasn't that great in Spain. They were terrible in Spain.
So I think Sainz telling me Sainz. I don't know what it is, but that's
No
what I'm going to go
reason.
with.
It's a signs. Who am I going to go with? I'm going to go with your boy, Colapinto.
Oh.
Not sure. You thought I was going to be...
Get on him, man. You're just picking on my boy, man.
I don't know. I'm just trying to see like who's going to mess up, and he's always a kind of a good bet. He's kind of become the Sargent and the Latifi of F1 at the moment, man.
What about Doohan? Doohan was not doing that good.
I see no difference. I honestly see no difference between the two at the moment. I feel... Listen, I think Colapinto, he's getting pressure, even from the Alpine boss. He's not impressed by his performances at the moment.
And it's so awkward with the whole... Because it was so awkward how they got him in as well. I didn't really like the way they kind of gave Doohan this short 5-race run. And he barely got time to prove himself. And all the time, it's like, imagine, all this time they're gassing up like Colapinto in it. And if you're doing, you're gonna be like, yo, like, what is this?
This is the same thing.
You get me? So it's like on an Alpine.
Why is he gonna get the rest of the season when I only got 5 races and he's performing,
I get
if
it.
not worse?
True. Like, and that's the worst thing about Alpine. They're just so weird with making decisions with drivers. They've always been like that. And you know what? Piastri, good. You dodged a bullet, mate. You just thank you for just sticking to your guns. Went
But
to
I'll probably
McLaren.
down to Webber though.
Well, hey, listen. You got him in the right place, and he's doing well. Let that boy fly.
Yeah, he's
Let
definitely
that boy
dodged
fly.
a
Might
big
be,
bullet
He
there.
might even be a world champion.
True.
You know what I'm saying? He dodged a good bullet, mate.
If he becomes world champion, if I was him, I'd walk past the Alpine. Yeah. Alpine garage up. What you said? But yeah, I'm going to call Colapinto for that reason. He's not performing, and I could see his poor form is getting to him. But he needs something. He needs to be better. So I'm going to go with that. And that takes us to our last prediction, which is a good surprise.
Good surprise. Ooh, a good surprise. I don't want to repeat my last one because I didn't get a good surprise.
Could change it up, yeah?
I do have to change it up, to be fair. And I like to keep my good surprises different.
I mean, you got Lewis on a podium.
I think, you know what? I think it's like the best thing is to have him.
Quick.
All right, cool. All right, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Lewis.
So good surprise.
Lewis is gonna go surprise.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Yuki Tsunoda. I'm gonna go with Yuki Tsunoda because just because the Red Bull upgrade's coming in and he's gonna at least get some new specs for his car and I think he drove a really good race last weekend or the weekend before.
I feel like it was
because
he was just kind of testing.
Yeah, but I feel like he did what he could, and I think if he didn't have like an old spec floor, then I think he would have actually made some gains and do some overtakes. I don't think there's a problem with Yuki Tsunoda.
No.
And I think he is driving as best as he can. So I'm hoping with these upgrades that we're going to see what Yuki can do in that Red Bull.
True.
But that's all depending on Red Bull and the upgrades coming.
You have to get it right, man. You need to get it right.
Let's see. And with that, guys, that is the end of our F1 Weekly Catch-Up. Thank you for watching.
Peace.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Oh yeah, do that. We need that.
You're just begging it every time. All right. Thank you, guys.